Hello and welcome, my friend. I'll tell you what, the end of the month ended better than it started, and I'm excited to tell you about it. So go grab a drink and let's chat. First, I want to thank my good friend from high school, Yvonne, for providing some important resources. I've put them in the posts section on my homepage, just in case you find yourself in a similar situation. Now, back to the drama. The resources from my rental office were actually the ones that paid off the best for me. They referred me to an organization called Telamon. They were able to help me out with the balance of my December rent. And you know what? They didn't judge or make me feel ashamed in any way. They were so kind and so helpful. But come to find out, they also offer a whole bunch of other resources like personal finance, assistance with actually getting reliable housing, and lots of other things. I was incredibly impressed with them, and I would refer them to anyone who might need them. Come to find out, they are a national organization, so you might call for the chapter closest to you if you need them. So that took care of the rent, but I still had to pay the rest of my bills. And that answer came when I was sorting through some mail and I found a statement from the company that maintains my 401k. The statement only had a balance of a couple $1,000s. And I'm thinking, after 9 years of contributions, I'm hoping that's not my 401k balance. Nope, it wasn't, thank goodness. I was so surprised to find out that this was actually an account that held stock options issued by my former employer. I wasn't part of their stock plan. However, periodically they issued stocks as gifts or bonuses kind of thing. And what a blessing. This was the financial bridge I needed to get me through December. I just can't tell you what a relief it was, because all of my bills got paid and I could buy Christmas gifts for my family. So Christmas turned out to be really, really nice. And I didn't have all of that hanging over my head. But then there was one more worry. I had to do something about January and beyond. That actually came from a distribution from my 401k. I know tapping your 401k is not the best plan, but I honestly had no choice. I just took enough to last a few months. And luckily, because I left my job after I was 55, I was able to take that distribution without penalty. Now, that does not mean they didn't take the taxes out, but I saved myself that chunk of change on the penalty. And then, more good news, when I'm 59 and a half, if I need to, I can start taking regular distributions from that 401k. Now, granted, I want that 401k there for the end of my life, like it's supposed to be there when I decide to retire. Though, there were some things that really ticked me off going through all of this. While I was looking for resources, I was shocked at the number of people that suggested I actually go back to work. At one point, I called the cancer center where I go for treatment. They have a new service that gives patients access to a social worker. The first words out of her mouth were, "You need to go to DHHR and sign up for all the benefits, whether or not they accept you or not. We just need the reject letter." Oh, and then the next thing out of her mouth was, "Can you go back to work? There's lots of people that are hiring and they would take you." I was so offended. I have stage 4 cancer. And I wasn't counting on getting cancer after I quit my job. But as a cancer patient, you know the deal if you've been there. Her remark was completely tone deaf for the situation. But as I was getting off the phone, I realized that only somebody who's been in that situation will understand what it's truly like. And to be honest, I'm really glad she's never been here and that she doesn't understand. But then again, a little more empathy would be nice, though, wouldn't it? And it's experiences like this that remind me why I'm sharing these updates, to spread awareness and connect with others going through similar situations themselves. I also want to celebrate the wins as they come. This week, I get to report how I solved a serious problem and created a bridge that will see me up to the next level. And that's a lot to be grateful for. And before I close, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me today and sharing my good news. And as always, I was wondering if I might pray for you. Blessed Jesus, I am grateful for the deliverance from my financial situation. And the person watching this video is also going through their own version of hell at the moment. Would you grant them the same grace you've given me? Please support them and step in with any resources they might need in this terrible time for them. In your precious name I pray. Amen. Again, guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I do appreciate you. And until next time, bye-bye.